Hello, you guys. How are you guys? Thank you for being here. I know it's like creepy music. I don't know. Maybe I'll change the music. I'm still kind of working on that. Just trying to put together like an intro once he was arrested and that kind of thing of all the pictures from like along the way. So, hello, Nadie. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Woofy. Love you. Ooh, I like your new picture. Hey, Joe. Punksy. West Virginia Holler Girl. Pointer Lover. Riddler. Hey, Douglas. Hey, Kathy. Tony. Little Satis. Kib Kitty. Hey, Rena. Danielle. Angel Eyes. Corey. Biscuits and Crazy. Hoping for answers. Sis. Hey, girl. Nikki, hello. Hey, Lucia. Hey, C-Wise. Cool Gamer, Chris. I know I get on people's nerves saying hello to y'all, but daggone it, I am not going to come in here and not say hello. At a certain point, I mean, it's just ridiculous the things people complain over. Hey, Peridot Eyes. Hey, Melissa Jade. That's my birthstone, Peridot. Hey, Alibi. Happy New Year. Hey, Alpha. Okay, so we are going to get right into it. I have a couple things I want to share with you guys. I thought that we could also, look through some stuff together. Hey, Alicia. Happy New Year's. I hope you guys had a good night last night. I was asleep already before midnight, although I did wake up. But yeah, I'm not a late night person. These days anyway. You say all the hellos you want. We are leaving what people think of us. Well, I mean, every day I'll get a comment that's like, something about it, but let's see. Let me start. Okay, first I'm just going to start with a comment that could be about anybody. I made a TikTok about it. I couldn't believe the way the TikTok blew up. It didn't post till like middle of the night when I was asleep. I tried to post it like afternoon yesterday, but it took forever to upload. And I woke up and there was like 100,000 views and everyone on it's like, he didn't live there at the time, this or that. But this is just let me show you. Okay. This was under a comment. This was on CNN's page. Actually, LFT sent me this. But it says, my daughter says this is the same guy that stalked her from her bus to her gym back in 2019. She was so freaked out, they called the police to report him, the bus driver, and her. When she saw his face today, she called and said, that's the guy that was following me and taking off in his car. I was in Africa at the time building my hotel. I don't know why she needed to add that in, but regardless. And I remembered this vividly. It freaked me out. She hasn't been following this story that much, but she said, if it's a white car, that's him. She was in Tacoma, Washington at the time, and I don't know if he was living there then, and he wasn't. He was in Pennsylvania. But we don't know if it's the same guy, but she swears it is. Hard to forget those kind of faces. I just thought it was something interesting. I mean, he wasn't living there at the time, and I wouldn't draw too much from it except for kind of something interesting to look at. You know what I mean? Then, first, let's go through. There's a bunch of new articles that are really interesting. We're going to start with this TMZ one. What was Bryan like after the killings? I found this one to be very interesting. I know, overusing that word. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help it. It is what it is. Sounds like spring where she's at. It's about 70 degrees. I'm in North Carolina. So yeah. Hey, Crime Sleuthin'. Happy New Year. The hotel part makes me sad. A random tidbit, but okay. It was an interesting comment. I know. Building my hotel. Narcissist much. Hey, Crime with K. Is that a blue jay I hear? Okay. Let's see. Let's go through this. University of Idaho murders. Suspected killer more animated in class after allegedly killing 4 students. The man charged with murdering 4 Idaho college kids seemed to be in good spirits and more animated in class after he allegedly did his dirty work. This, according to a classmate. Suspected killer Bryan Kohberger was seeking a PhD in criminology and was enrolled in the graduate program at Washington State University. He had recently graduated from DeSales University in Pennsylvania with a degree in criminal justice. And there he is walking the stage. You have the video of that. Looks creepy even there, you guys. I know something about the look in his face. Ugh. Allie, now we have similar weather. I know. We do. 70 in Oklahoma. Awesome. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 75 in 2 days here. It doesn't snow here or anything, which is nice. It doesn't get that cold. Okay. B.K. Norton told the New York Times that they attended graduate studies with Kohberger at WSU and quickly noticed some red flags that weren't obvious earlier in the semester after the brutal slayings came to light. Bryan seemed more upbeat and willing to carry a conversation, Norton wrote in an email to the New York Times. They added Kohberger had a keen interest in forensic psychology. They said he had a quiet but intense demeanor, which made those around him feel uncomfortable. He also passed certain remarks that made it clear he was anti-LGBTQ. He sort of creeped people out because he stared and didn't talk much. But when he did, it was very intelligent and he needed everyone to know he was smart, Norton said. Kohberger was arrested Friday in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, after the FBI SWAT team descended on a house where he was staying. He was charged in Idaho with 4 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the November 13th. I wonder if I can get that email. Hold on one second, because that would be nice to see. New York Times email Bryan Kohberger. Let's see if it comes up. I'd rather kind of look at that article anyways. Ooh, and I cannot wait to show you this other one I found. Oh, well, actually, the other one actually was sent to me. I didn't find it, but let's see. Was it the New York Times or the New York Post? Let me make sure I get it right because both came up. New York Times, okay. I think this will be it. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. We have a couple things to look at that are pretty interesting. Bryan doesn't understand emotions in people, therefore he has no ability to understand people motivations and interactions. He tries to mimic people, but it wasn't working at all. He's a scary narcissist. Thank you, Leo girl. You guys are too sweet. Okay. Can't believe it's 2023. Freaking weird. Criminology student is charged in 4 University of Idaho killings. The police arrested. The man was taken into custody. He was pursuing PhD. B.K. Norton, who was in the same graduate program, said he continued attending classes after the killings occurred. It seemed more animated at that time than he had been earlier in the semester. Then the LGBT, he sort of creeped people out because he stared and didn't talk much. And when he did, it was very intelligent. He needed everyone to know he was smart. We read that. So I guess they don't show the email. Miss Andrew Chua, a graduate student who lived in the same building as Mr. Kohberger, said he briefly met him in August or September. He was really passionate about what he was doing, said Mr. Chua. Another graduate student who knew Mr. Kohberger said he was keenly interested in studying policing, but the student who spoke on condition of anonymity because of worries about upsetting others in the department said Mr. Kohberger had few friends at the school. Mr. Kohberger had appeared to want to socialize, the student said, but had made offensive remarks in the past that had left him somewhat isolated. Hold on, you guys. I am sorry. Y'all, Bentley comes out here screaming, crying, acting like he's insane. Not screaming at me, but still. Okay, let me keep going. Casey Arntz, who was 1 year ahead of Mr. Kohberger at Pleasant Valley School, said he was known to have a temper and that he did kickboxing, possibly as a way to get his anger out. She said his mother had sometimes worked as a substitute teacher. Miss Arntz said she used to occasionally hang out with him as part of a group, once hiking a mountain near her parents' house, but had not seen him. Oh, okay. I think that's the lady who's in the TikTok. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. I wanted to see if they put the email, and they did not. So, yeah. Now I want to show you this one, which is, it talks about him wearing gloves for weeks after the crime. Let me clear out my windows. I'm going to come check the comments. So while I'm reading these, you guys, I can't see the comments. So just to give you guys a heads up. Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. Steve said he is unwilling at this time to speak about the connection. Probably need it for the case. I saw that. Do you think he might have been the ride-along in that noise complaint? I don't know, Kip Kitty. Kaylee's mom or dad mentioned in an interview that Kaylee was into true crime. Think that could be a possible connection? It's possible. I don't know. I guess until the parents will kind of speak more, we don't really know. Hey, Alex. Okay, Nady. Okay. Daily Mail. Suspect stalked victims for weeks and wore gloves after quadruple murder to avoid leaving trail of evidence, claims friend of investigator. He's not stupid and has been very careful. Sorry, you guys, I'm packing my cigarettes. Maybe I should move it away from the computer. Bryan Kohberger allegedly stalked the 4 University of Idaho students for weeks before the killings, according to a friend of a cop who tracked him. The source said the suspect was seen wearing gloves after the murders, even to a supermarket, because he's not stupid and has been very careful. That was a quote. Kohberger was arrested at his family's home on Friday following a more than month-long investigation. The source said cell phone data showed he was in the same area as his victims in the weeks leading up to their deaths. The man accused of the horrific slayings of 4 University of Idaho students was allegedly stalking them in the weeks leading up to the murders and wore gloves in public places after the killings. So that makes me think that he cut himself possibly. Because I've been wondering, you guys, about this DNA, right? We heard that there was DNA, right? And that then we hear that he's anxious to get back to Idaho to prove his innocence. So then it's like, how's he going to explain away the DNA? The blood or whatever, whatever DNA they have. And if it's blood mixed with their blood, I don't think there's any explanation at all that would work. Hey, Cotton Candy Bee investigates. Hey, Mama Bear. Okay. Bryan Kohberger was fastidious, I don't know how to say that, about not leaving his fingerprints behind after the murders, even wearing gloves when he entered a grocery store, according to a friend of one of the police officers assigned to follow him there. He's not stupid and has been very careful, the anonymous source said. While Kohberger was under surveillance in Pennsylvania, according to the source, police witnessed him appearing to try and avoid leaving any more DNA or fingerprints behind by taking protective measures in public. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who had been following him the last couple of days. The source explained of their connection to the surveillance on Kohberger in Pennsylvania. Wait, is that him? Whoa, man, he looks so different there. Wow. A friend of a cop was assigned to follow him. No. The friend was speaking. The cop followed him. And I wonder how they check their sources. I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they probably ask for certain verification, but I don't know. Actually don't know. But wow, he looks really different there. Police who were tracking him, let's see what this is. Anonymous, please. I guess it's a message he was arrested only 40 minutes from our home near our aunt and uncle's. Went to school with my cousins. His sister lives in our town. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who has been following him the last couple of days. He coaches with my husband and was telling him all the crazy details. He followed him into a giant local grocery store and wore gloves the entire time. He's not stupid and has been very careful. Also, he's been stalking them for weeks. Not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed their every move for weeks. So freaking scary and disturbing. I've been so invested in this case the last 6 weeks, and to find out how close he is to us and that one of our friends found him and arrested him is just crazy. They also allege that the prime suspect was stalking ahead of the murders. Not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed their every move for weeks. Kohberger was arrested at his family's home on Friday following a more than month-long investigation. The source said Kohberger was arrested just 40 minutes from where they live, and that his sister lives in the town. The proximity to quadruple murder has shaken them in the community. So freaking scary and disturbing, they wrote. I've been so invested, we read all of that. After the murders, he first returned to teaching at the University of Washington, but later drove 2,000 miles from Idaho to Pennsylvania in order to hide out at his parents' Poconos home. Police were on his tail during the cross-country road trip and continued to follow him in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, where he was ultimately apprehended. According to students in his class, Kohberger acted as if nothing had happened after the killings took place. So he was teaching a class. Let's see, WSU's online directory shows he worked as a teaching assistant for the university's criminal justice and criminology program. He was also a PhD student in the department. Multiple students in the program told Fox Seattle that Kohberger did not appear different following the murders. Ben Roberts, a criminology student, told the Fox affiliate that Kohberger was confident and outgoing, but still appeared as if he was always looking for a way to fit in. Speaking about the horrific allegations against Kohberger, Roberts said, "It's pretty out of left field. I had honestly just pegged him as being super awkward." Roberts began studying at WSU in August, which is the same time that Bryan went there. So let me pause to come back to the comments. Hey, little bit. Remy, I'm curious of how they did that. Now, I've heard that Ancestry in some of these places will not just give away DNA. So it makes me wonder, is it possible that they've tested a parent or mom came in? I don't know. I don't know exactly. They've been very clear with the details. So I don't know. There's a couple possibilities. He's a teacher's assistant. With his aunt? I don't think so. No, Nikki. White people do weird shit to each other, gothic type scary shit to Daryl. Hey, Trasha. Good to see you. The police use a program by the federal government called GenMatch. It's a very new. Ooh, okay, Smiling Wolfette. You're so smart. You got all the info. Thank you. I think they just lie and give it away. Possibly. I heard the sister had something to do to it. With it, I mean. I'm still curious as to why he left the others alive. Well, you know what? If we go by the video, remember the video we went over yesterday? And if you weren't here, we went over a video that was posted on TikTok that looks like it's him in the reflection. A lot of people are questioning if it was him. This person claims to be a relative of law enforcement, so they have like extra information. And they said that, and we can go watch it again just to refresh our minds. But he said that that one of the girls screamed upstairs, which is why they had the injuries were different, because he was getting angry and tried to quiet her quickly. And that the scream most likely ran him off, but I don't know. I wonder that as well, why the others were alive. Hey, lovely, I really want to go over my own profiling again now they arrested and a lot has come out. Yeah, that'll be super interesting. Hey, Brandy, a real Southern Bella. Happy New Year, guidance. I hope you guys feel better. Hey, Amber. Okay, so I went over on my TikTok another screenshot, and then at the end I showed a screenshot from your community page, and I was like, go to my friend Amber's channel, and the TikTok is blowing up. Like, it got to 100,000 views really quick, so you might have some new people over there, and if they come, I don't know, they tend to think I'm just completely dumb over there. I don't know. Profiling about as accurate as psychics. LTF Alicia. He posted and answered questions on Reddit. It's confirmed because the account is linked to his email. The questions, his survey, is that what you're talking about for his criminal, for his research or his study, which I don't believe is actually true. It's just my own personal opinion. That was for his own research. It says, it was for a research paper. However, he graduated from DeSales in May. He walked the stage, and the study was put out in June, and he became a new student at Washington in August. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, I'm wondering if that was just his own sick. Oh, about the actual murders. What? I haven't seen that yet. Holy moly. I would love to see that. Hey, Jay. Yeah, okay, let's see. Multiple students in the program told Fox Seattle that Kohberger did not appear different following the murders. Yeah, we already read that. Speaking about the horrific allegations against Kohberger, Roberts said, "It's pretty out of left field. I had honestly just pegged him as being super awkward." Okay, we read that. "One thing he would always do, almost without fail, was find the most complicated way to explain something," he said. B.K. Norton, a student in the WSU Criminal Justice and Criminology Department, said Friday that they didn't know Kohberger well but didn't like him. "We interacted in class, but personally, I was not a fan of Bryan because of comments he made about LGBTQ plus individuals. He was a little off, but I always thought it was because he was awkward and wanted to fit in." I'm wondering if you're going to let me see. Ooh, a fellow PhD student was on ICIDMail and said if he had truly had approval for the study, it would be available to everyone at the library. See, I'm telling you, I do not think that was for school. Hey, Unique Trauma, I can give you the red name he went under. Yeah, I would love that. It was a community post, Amber. It said, okay, Crime Sleuthin'. I don't remember what it said now. It was, no, that wasn't it. Well, let me see. I think it was maybe about him wanting to get back. Yes, about him wanting to get back and like clear his name, basically. All these are linked to his email. Oh my God, awesome. Thank you. Crumb Sleuthin'. I just sent it back to you instead of, sorry. I'm going to show you guys, so I'm trying to send it to my other Facebook account. I think this is what Alicia's talking about. Hey, Rody Gal. Oh, no, it was not that. It was, yeah. Hey, Dee. Welcome. That's so cool. Mountain Mama. Okay. While there, the owner, Jordan Cyrulnik, has claimed he had problematic interactions with women at his bar. Okay, so they talk about DeSales University and that this man had problematic interactions with women at his bar. Kohberger memorably, what a weird way to say that, but harassed female staff at Seven Siren Brewing Company near his hometown. Cyrulnik told NBC that employees labeled Kohberger in their system as a guy who makes creepy comments and said he once called a staffer a bitch for spurning his advances. According to staffers' notes, Kohberger would have 2 or 3 beers and then just get a little too comfortable. And that was a quote. The behavior was so upsetting that the brewery owner approached his patron about it. Kohberger denied the behavior but never showed up at the bar again. He was allegedly stalking them for weeks. There's his apartment complex. The police chief said that, the school at the Pullman campus, which they had, big typo, the Pullman campus, they were all cooperating. The WSU Pullman campus provost, Elizabeth Chilton, said in a statement, "On behalf of the WSU community, I want to offer my sincere thanks to all of the law enforcement agencies that have been working tirelessly to solve this crime. The horrific act has shaken everyone in the Pulaus region." He did, however, say it was disappointing This is what the police chief said, to learn that the alleged murderer was studying criminology, as this is not something we want in our profession. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. We hold ourselves to an ethical standard, he told Fox News, but we can't pick and choose what people study. Kohberger's lawyer said Saturday that his client looks forward to resolving these matters. Mr. Kohberger is eager to be exonerated of these charges and looks forward to resolving these matters as promptly as possible. Previously, fellow students who attended high school with Kohberger said that he would become aggressive when referred to as overweight. He's the guy that we looked at yesterday. Remember that would go running with him and stuff? He was kind of surprised. In an interview with NBC Philadelphia, his one-time friend, Schaller Jacobson, said that the pair were close, and around 10 years ago that during their runs, they'd had all of these positive conversations. Jacobson described the murder suspect as being uplifting and often talked about wanting to get into shape. He said there was nothing concerning about his behavior. In a separate interview, he spoke about their friendship, telling WBRE, I would text him and be like, hey, do you want to go for a run? We'd go for 6-7 mile runs at night. So when I saw who it was, I was just like in complete shock. And this lady right here, Catherine Ramsland, he studied under her, I think at DeSales. And she's, famed criminologist, like she's been written tons of books, been on tons of TV shows, all that stuff. Cambry Dawn, Alex sounds like Britney Spears. Do you know that TikTok that has like kind of blown up that I posted last night, that's grown faster than normal, is why I say blown up. It's not like blown up, but faster than normal for me. I got like 20 comments that said I sounded like Britney Spears. Somebody commented and said, what in the Kentucky Fried Chicken reporting is this? I was like, oh my God. I know it's supposed to be insulting, but it was pretty funny, so it cracked me up. But went running with the killer, that poor dude. Oh boy, they all act like they're inspirational with workouts when murderer, I've noticed. His middle name is Christopher as well. Imagine that. You do sound like her. Now you made me want KFC. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, me too. And you're right. It is. It's just like all the ones that I think are really good and that I do well at, they do fine. They do pretty good. But the ones where I just sound stupid or say something dumb, like they always tend to be the ones that grow really fast. I don't know. Let me know if you still need the Reddit name he used. If not, MJ and others know how to reach my messenger. Okay, thank you so much. So Crime Sleuthin sent a couple of screenshots. If you're still here and we don't have everything, then yeah, definitely message. You can message me as well. It's at Allie Erickson on Facebook. ALLIE. Crime Sleuthin. Okay. Thank you so much, Alicia. I do appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Let's keep going for a moment. And then I'll show you guys the Reddit stuff. I just want to get through this article. They talk about he studied under Dr. Catherine Ramsland, a renowned forensic scientist. The Daily Beast reports that one of the courses taught by Ramsland is the psychology of death investigations. She's written books including How to Catch a Killer, The Mind of a Murderer, The Human Predator, all of that. I wonder if she'll write a book on him or on this. A classmate of Kohberger's described him as being very well-spoken and very intelligent, but also seemingly detached. Ramsland spoke about the dark subjects she writes about in a 2009 interview, saying, it's clear that everything I do that truly engages me has this dark, edgy quality. Vampires, ghosts, corpses, serial killers, death investigations, cemeteries, they all take me into the shadows where most people fear to tread. In a separate 2018 interview, Ramsland said that she has consulted on several TV shows about forensic science, NCIS, Bones, The Alienist, as well as written a biography of famed horror novelist Anne Rice. She offered her advice on how people could avoid becoming statistics, saying, be vigilant, don't accept media stereotypes, which make you more vulnerable. Don't think like a victim. It sends signals to predators of your vulnerability. Okay, so now we can look at those Reddit things. Hold on, let me get back over to this Facebook and open up Messenger. Yeah, impressive resume. I agree. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you. Hey, fugitive recovery agent. He's like a vegan Hannibal Lecter, only eats the... Sorry. Banfield tried to reach out for an interview, but the professor said she's not allowed to speak due to ongoing investigation. Wow. She's a psychologist, not a psychic. Who said she was a psychic? I mean, I honestly, are we in the same live? I don't know, but the re-ex-con, scariest inmate in California. So is this him in the big one? Let's see the other ones really fast. I dislike what does it say? I dislike homonyms. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. This is the 4chan stuff. Now this was interesting. I mean, trigger warning is disgusting, but the sentence, I'm hiding in the woods in shithole PA, good luck catching me, does, I don't know, it makes you wonder if it could have been him. Who could have guessed something like that and been right? What are the chances of that? Aw, welcome, Alibi. Thank you for joining. Any word from the crazy lady who made those accusations about the professor? She's probably saying he's just a fall guy. You know what? I have not looked, but I'm really interested to see what she's saying now too. Yeah, that was him. Oh, not you. Others were saying Bryan's sister is blamed for not knowing he was a killer. Oh, see, I thought her sister, I thought his sister was some sort of, I won't say psychologist, but does some, counseling, some sort of counselor. That's not what I have. If you go to Reddit and type in his name, you can see anything. Is this the right name? Hold on, let me go back and we can go to Reddit and type it in. I think I even have it on my computer, like the app. But is this his name? I don't know why they still... or is it this? I'm pulling Reddit up in another window. And we can just... The username, hold on. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll pull that up. He both pulled up via his email. Oh, okay. Wow. Interesting. What can you tell us of a time when you had to commit a crime out of sheer necessity? Example, you're between a rock and a hard place and took up drug trafficking so you could pay off your student loans or relatives' medical bills. Did you manage to successfully pay them off? If you got caught before they could be paid off, what happened to those debts and what alternative arrangements did you make for them? Reddit. So let's go over to Reddit. Was this something I was looking at? There's that research participation needed. I think that's his post. Remember? I don't know why I'm in there, but that TikToker has made videos since Kohberger's arrest. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Oh, thank you, little bit. Thank you. That was really sweet. Damn, I hate StreamYard doesn't show us that. I can see there's a new member, Alibi, but yeah. Inside Looking is his handle. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me look. I'm waiting to get hear from Alicia. And we'll search that screen name just to see. I mean, why not? Family shouldn't be blamed. We know this after all the Jake Jack saga. I was thinking today about the just about like Jack S and Jack D and also, I mean, I was pretty oh, thank you, D. You don't have to do that. Also, when you get, I know, I appreciate it so much when you do, and don't feel that you have to. But I was suspicious of Jack S, especially in the beginning when all we saw was that first clip of him like at the food truck. It's all we had, and I think a lot of people saw him kind of awkwardly watching them, that kind of thing. So plus he pulls up his hood and he tries to kind of almost hide from the camera. Then that went away and I was suspicious of Jack D. I never outwardly blamed them like, damn, I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad about it. And I feel bad for them. Like they just lost their friends or their girlfriend, really, important people in their lives. And then they're being blamed for it. I don't know. 6/8/22. That's when his, I think that is from, maybe I was on here earlier looking at his post. Think it was hard to not be suspicious because law enforcement said so little. However, we now know why they did that. And thank God, because think about it. This dude, he was being extra careful. He was going, if it's true, he was wearing gloves and stuff in the grocery store after, like the article we read says. Number one, could it have been to cover up something? Or thank you, Alicia. Or number two, could it have been to prevent from leaving fingerprints and stuff? Whatever it was, he was really being very cautious and careful. And that is scary. So inside looking, U/inside looking. Creepy interactions by BK's alleged Reddit account. Someone knew it was him. It's because they changed part of the name somehow to Dark User 145 or something. Click on Inside Looking and it will come up. Hold on. Share this tab and said, Inside Looking commented on Chief of Police James Fry thanking public for recent tips. They said 3 days ago. What day was he arrested? Or they said, sounds like they're closing in. When all students come back, he's smiling. And he said, or just slowing down on updating the public with the same info all the time. Sorry if this is a dumb question, but in this kind of situation, what happens to the house in the end? They say it goes back to the owner. Inside Looking, look at the killer's route. Why does it have a lock beside of it? It was locked by the moderators. Hold on. Where is the dog kept in the house? I haven't figured out that piece yet. This person said, not sure, maybe kept in Kay's room. Then someone says, agreed. The inside of the house shows stairs next to the sliding glass door. This person says, blood runs down from Xana's room, not stairs. Someone says, does the killer likely live in the neighborhood? And the person says, it's a 50-50 chance. And they commented, you mean 0% chance? Killer didn't walk there, in my opinion, he said. Wow, you got him. He said, Kay was not target, in my opinion. Xana and Maddie were targets. Look at the killer's route inside the home. Then he comments, killer enters through sliding door and exits sliding door. If Kaylee, Maddie, Kaylee and Maddie were targets, the path doesn't cross Xana and Ethan. If Xana and Ethan were targets, the path doesn't cross Kaylee and Maddie. Ethan and Kaylee did not reside at the home. Therefore, Xana and Maddie must have been targets. Do you think the killer is among us, enjoying the fact that no one has a clue what happened? Being on the run is not fun, in my opinion, they said. There's a lot of people on here that were also saying this is his account. You guys just, we don't know for certain. It doesn't look like there's been any comments from them in the last 3 days, which is kind of interesting. Let me see what you guys are saying. He thought there's no way it could be linked to him through the car, in my opinion. Was probably pretty active watching social media. Guarantee it. Let's keep going through these. Being on the run is not fun, in my opinion. Then they said, can we talk about one of the guys in the video? And they posted a laughing thing. I've always thought Xana and Ethan were the targets, but whoever did this didn't know the house. They said, no, killer went in Xana and Ethan's room, then MK room, in my opinion. And then he says that again. Killer went in Xana, Ethan's room, then MK room, in my opinion. Crime scene was also expanded to the parking lot and not to Walenta. You can't say wrong and correct when you have absolutely no way of knowing. None of us do. We can all guess, and that is all it is. And then they said, I put in my opinion. Well, if this was him, I guess he would know, but confused about Kay had a stalker. Her parents can't get closure without the why. What if it was a sexual assault attempt? He says law enforcement states no essays, stick to facts. I don't know what you said because I never responded to you. Could have been Ethan 2.0 murdered in his girlfriend's bedroom. So just like it was lucky for Jake, he was in Boise. He dodged a bullet, in my opinion. They said killer went into Xana and Ethan's room and then Maddie and Kaylee's room. So Kaylee was likely the last victim. Did they find the white Hyundai Elantra? No. Is the killer on these boards? Speculation. They are on one of them 100%. Wow, you guys. Then they said multiple suspects for multiple victims. Speculation. One killer. Home security trips. Just put a yard sign out that says you're a gun owner. Most effective way, in my opinion. I just started researching this case today. Does anyone have an answer to why the surviving roommates thought the victims were passed out? It was a brutal stabbing and they would have known if they saw him. So were the bodies behind locked doors? Speculation. Bodies were inside room. The sliding door. Opinions of users. And then, so he posted the sliding door. Hold on, he posted 4 photos. This is really, I'm telling you guys, this is what nightmares are made of. It's a real life boogeyman. It's just, there's the sliding door. Wow, if this was him, he was really, really watching and This thread has been locked. Everything was locked. Do you speculate that then Ethan and Xana was the target, or was he eliminating the threat first to get to his target? It's the route. I don't know targets. Speculation. Killer went to Ethan Xana's room, then MK's room. Investigators' movement in the home. They retraced the killer's path, started kitchen, then Ethan Xana room, then MK room. Have you ever considered, look at this. Someone said, okay, so Inside Looking commented on a post and said, Kaylee's father just told Fox News that they have the recently released surveillance photo. It's pretty clear this individual was not part of the investigation as far as a suspect. Then someone said to him, have you ever considered sources and backing up your rumors or speculation with fact? Or is that less fun for you? And he said, I'm 100% confident this is the route the killer took. Yeah, I got that already due to your stating opinion as fact earlier. Would you like to try backing it up with anything meaningful? And then they said, the Inside Looking account says, don't bite the hand that feeds, you get nothing. Holy wow. Then they post an interview. Speculation. He didn't specify it was HG. He was referring to a person on the cleared list. He never named them. A 2011 white Elantra that was purchased earlier this summer in Washington is for sale in Idaho. And then they said, how much are they selling it for? Miles? Any issues? How will this go down? Will they announce a suspect, or will first we hear a full-blown arrest? Speculation. They'll find the car first. Suspect will be announced, then the manhunt begins. Reeks of VO behavior. What are the distinguishing features? One is a registered offender and one is a violent offender. All I'm saying is the killer was not a registered sex offender. I would bet all my chips on that. This is so creepy, you guys. Holy. That's why it's locked down so it can't be deleted. Yep. Oh my gosh. Hi, and I kind of like it. Alex Erickson, you have to join the group to see the locked ones. Also, make sure you click open thread because he speaks a lot more. Also, it was confirmed it was him because linked email. Wow. Hey, Jen Lou, Happy New Year. Thank you, Alicia. He was watching everything. Yep. Okay. Speculation, it was not a sex offender. Remember the tire tracks? And then he posts this photo. Tire marks from the killer's car when they fled the scene from behind the house. Wonder where they got this photo. Oh, wait, you can't even see the photo. Here it is, and then we'll go right back to it. Actually, those look like brake tracks. Maybe he was speeding to get out of there. Speculation, yes. Could someone who was angry have hired someone to kill? Speculation, this was not the case. Random thrill kill example. Speculation, this is not a thrill kill. Don't see markers marking their footprints. Because you don't mark officers' footprints. Look, speculation. Elantra is connected. Law enforcement knew and searched for this car since day one. Owner has not come forward. Anonymous reports of white car being perp immediately following the homicides. Just a theory, but perhaps the killer parked far away to avoid any possible connection. Speculation, no way. The perp of a quadruple homicide wants a quick getaway. I've thought that as well. I thought he had to be there. I've told you guys a million times, I felt he either lived very close or he had a car or some sort of shelter very close. There's no way, because how do you get out of there? You know, you're going to have blood on you and stuff. Timing of car on home camera footage compared to the time of the murders. Should have started before 2 a.m. The killer could have sat and waited for a while until all the lights went off around 3. He says, why waste an hour to see lights go out when you can pull up and lights are already out? Post karma, comment karma. Wow. White car spotted in footage detained by police one day after killings. You've been saying all along that the list of people believed to not be involved actually were not involved. Pretty sure you're going to be proven right about that too. Yet for weeks now you've had to hear, but they were not actually cleared. Thank you for the acknowledgement. I still believe that's the case, and I guess we will find out eventually. He says, speculation. I've said from the beginning, the car pulled up to the house. Yep, and I've said this from the beginning. The timeline, people kept talking about the timeline with Xana and Ethan. There is no missing hole in the timeline. Now, there was at first, but they were at the party the whole time. There were earlier pictures of that window with the table being clear. Wait, the white car is the killer. Here's why. They post this photo. And then this photo, you can see the plant. Inside looking, theories thread 2.0. This person spent a ton of time on here. The coroner is a political position. Kaylee's father said Ethan and Xana put up a hell of a fight. This is true about coroner and medical examiner. Do you have a link for Kaylee's dad stating this? Maybe I missed it. I thought it was only Xana that was confirmed to have defensive wounds. It was only Xana that had defensive wounds from what was released, unless you can provide me a source. He's making a list. Prove to me it's not the shoe print. They don't do that. Did the killer want to be known? No. The killer did it in a discreet fashion. He was going around taking cameras down in September, in my opinion. I do believe that. Well, maybe it wasn't him, but it's possible he was. I feel like this dude had all of he looked at everything. Why else did the call? I mean, it could be possible that's why the cameras went offline. He's not a dummy. He could have figured it out and I don't know. I don't even know what to think, you guys. Exactly. The theories speculating that the killer might not have known about the first floor are ludicrous. The front door is literally the first floor. There's absolutely no way he didn't know. He knew and avoided that floor intentionally. They said, thank you. I could see if it was a basement that was underground, but it's not. It's obviously a 3-story, and the one road in means you have to pass the front. Criminals may act irrational, but they're not that stupid. So you're randomly saying they never once saw the front or side of the home? Instead, they randomly attacked it from the back side? Ooh, look at this. Joke's on you. 18 days ago, your comment history is extremely creepy, but there seems to be plenty of footage of that white Elantra. If it's you, like I suspect it might be, hopefully your time is numbered. Holy cow. Then they said, I've already been tipped in weeks ago. I am not the killer. Anyways, I say this because footage of the killer or a description would be released if law enforcement had it. It's what they did recently for the car. Wow. Oh my gosh. So the comment originally that was posted said, I don't understand. Did no one on the block they live on have ring cameras that could have seen the killer come or go? I can't believe somebody literally pointed him out and said, joke's on you. Your comment history is suspicious as hell. Wow. It's blurry for you guys. Science is fascinating. Maybe it's Mr. Harshwell. There supposedly this account links back to his email. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but I saw when I logged on Reddit, other people were saying that too. And Alicia came in the chat and gave us the name, and then we just searched for all the comments from this account. This account has not been active in the last 3 days, which would line up. They were active every single day before that. So I don't know. I think we just have to this is the thing. We just have to use our critical thinking and keep in mind it's, what the possibilities are, and that's it. Person in the vehicle is wearing a hoodie with the hood up. Detectives can be lousy. Let's see. New lead on the car. Inside looking says, they say, what do you think happened? And they said, do you want the short or the long answer? Give me the short and I'll see if I have any questions left to follow up. Killer drove to residence, entered sliding door at approximately 3:20 a.m., stabbed victims in their beds, left through sliding door at approximately 3:35 and headed east on Highway 8. Okay. And then they say, then he says it's not frat guys. What police need to do is put out a statement of facts that would not harm the case. They have. That fraternity is not covering up a quadruple homicide. You don't know that. Literally anything is possible. A meteor hitting and destroying the earth is possible, but it doesn't happen. Use common sense. If a huge fight happened at the fraternity that resulted in the murders, people are not going to be silent about that. I think I may have seen their messages kept getting deleted. That was a 4chan post. It's false. No arrest before Christmas. This case goes cold, in my opinion. TikTokers and Redditors are sending in bogus tips. He says 4chan is fake. The 4chan thing is fake. Speculation unconfirmed. This is all fake. Wow. This is why I feel like he thought there was no one downstairs. 4 cars equals 4 people. And then they said probably didn't look like it had good lighting down there. Dog is irrelevant. Law enforcement said dog is not part of the investigation. Someone said, here you go again. Wow. So this person was like, getting slack for thinking they knew everything. Wonder how they knew the car was there. They sectioned off a part of town, collected information, found an outlier. Everyone is capable of murder. Being convicted of murder is a separate thing. Half of all murders go unsolved. Let's talk about after the murders. Someone said rush of adrenaline, very excited. All of this, that one's locked too. Let's talk about after the murders. This thread has been locked by the moderators of Moscow murders. Rush of adrenaline, very excited, is what he said. They said, oh my gosh, what? Oh, you guys, I don't even know. My brain is all over the place. People have been shot in homes and roommates didn't wake up. DNA is pretty sensitive. Moscow cameras, there are a lot. Apparently not enough to catch a killer. Huh. Well, look at you now, buddy. They might be clearing people so fast for a reason. Someone said, how do you know that it has a hilt and the victims were sleeping? I doubt. Okay, so they're talking about the knife here. I just don't know what he commented on. Okay, they might be clearing people too fast. They say, I thought it would have been at the top, so I'm kind of surprised. Okay, I'm going to go back because I don't know where he's at. Also, someone pointed out that the cops themselves are not using the words they've been cleared. He says they are cleared. A couple of random ideas. Look, the offender may have ended up with a significant injury. Hand slid past the hilt on the knife and slashed him, or injuries from a victim fighting back, so they could rule out people fairly fast if they didn't have any matching injuries. And this person said perpetrator didn't incur an injury. They probably don't have the DNA. No person of interest. Bolo was issued late. Also, no license plate number. Maybe they didn't know. Especially when they were publicly cleared. Where was Ethan found? This person says in bed. Dang it. Didn't mean to do that. Where was Ethan found? In bed. I thought so too, but looking again, I think they just dusted the handle. Outside handle taken off for DNA. Inside handle not. Perp open door and never shut it. That's correct. The door handle was taken off because I remember looking at that. We talked about it. Body cam footage. The murders happened after this. Definitely wasn't murdering when they just cut off the lights. The perp is not on the list. LOL. Wait, someone says the perp is on the list. And they said the perp is not on the list. Someone says, are you the perp? LOL. And then they say no. LOL. There's so much of this. I don't even know what to think. See cleared list. I don't believe it is the X at all, but the cleared list means nothing. So why have a cleared list? Means nothing. So why have a list then? No one is cleared until the killer is arrested. That's not how it works. Also, I think I've seen a picture of that screen with a rock weighted on it to keep it whatever. And then they said they post the door and say, this is the exit. Look, exit. Which nobody knows for sure. Even Kaylee's dad in his interview said the door or the window. I always thought it was the window because the door was so lit up. I am so sorry. I haven't seen everybody's comments while we're doing this. I can't see the comments, but I will be right back. If it's the screen you're highlighting, I believe it's from an unoccupied second floor bedroom window and not the kitchen. From recent photos of the scene, I believe it's still there on the porch, so assume no evidentiary value. And then they said, does that look like a bedroom to you? Is that a window screen? Yes, for the window next to it. Perhaps evidence of entry or how they feel confident in saying the rear slider was the access. Edit, as people in their comments will know, when you step on snow during a slight thaw, it compacts the next day and appears as clear kind of ice that defrosts after the snow. Oh, wow, look. Inside looking set, post the picture and circles the screen. No suspect at this time. Past comments regarding most updated police focus made on 11/21. Do they know something or just a troll? Prove it. Okay, I'm done with you. Wait, so were they calling him out? Creepy name coincidence considering someone would have been watching that house. Inside looking. Was it him they were talking about? Because look, he said, prove it. And then, okay, I'm done with you. And then, oh my gosh, I'm just so, you don't know that for sure. Yes, I do. No point in believing you without proof. And then the ha ha ha. Too many witnesses if something went down at Sigma Chi. Wrong. That's not answering my question. Did you originally insist something happened there? I never insisted something happened there. I was stating on the timeline. Ethan and Xana were at Sigma Chi. That's it. Nothing happened at Sigma Chi. Yeah, what about that? It's Reddit. A bunch of anonymous people on the internet. Everything is speculation. Agreed. Ex-boyfriend not involved. No, I promise that you were incorrect. I promise you that you were incorrect. You are incorrect. Oh my God. I am correct. Not all fixed blade have a guard. And he says, this is true. Someone says, are you him? And he says, am I who? You guys, people suspected him from the beginning. You could literally stab right through someone who's the size of the girls. This is true. Who? Oh my gosh. I am wondering if police actually have the knife. They don't have the weapon. He has ladders. He could have gotten onto the third floor from outside. Oh, wow. I've always wondered about the ladders. Let me check on you guys for a moment because I've Holy moly. Hey, Bedrock Workshop. Hey, Jay. And mad someone else getting the shine for his deed. I don't find it weird that it'd be him bragging about it. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I can't see you guys. I'm lost here. Okay, April. So we first went through some statements from people who knew Bryan and some different things. And then we started looking at this Reddit account who a lot of people, Alicia, so someone in the chat actually had sent the name in because we were talking about it. A lot of people were thinking that this was the killer's account. And once I even opened Reddit, I saw that. So we just started going through all of the comments left from this account on these posts. I have to apologize to Jake for thinking he was involved. So sorry, Jake. I know what you mean. To be very honest, I don't think it was Bryan K's first rodeo. Yeah, I know, Holly. I saw that on Facebook. Let's keep looking for a minute. I think we're almost done. So this person's suspect wounds. I didn't say a knife, Jim. Did you actually read what I wrote? Under stress, a person might not have the most ideal grip on the knife due to the bloody hands or stress or any number of factors. Thus, and this account has not been active for the last 3 days. Thus, they could injure themselves despite the design of the knife. And sleeping people can wake. I would imagine they didn't sleep through being stabbed repeatedly. Let me guess. Your next reply to me is going to be, they were drunk. Watch how fast someone gets shanked in prison. I'm sure there are videos out there. I have. Most shanks don't have a cutting edge. If they do, they're not sharp because design prevents it. Because they said they're not sharp like a purpose-built knife. Someone said, you don't know that. You are not law enforcement, and it's not stated on the Moscow PD page, which is your source. You should indicate your post is speculating. It's not standard practice by law enforcement. Must be important. And then more here than you think. I don't know what the post said. Let's look for a second, I guess. They talk about the interview. Okay, so I don't know. Nothing significant there. Let's keep looking. So, are you outside looking the same? Are you and outside looking the same person? I asked outside and he said no. And then no connection. We clearly know there is. You and many of your comments in the same fashion. It's fine. We get it. No connection. So outside looking, remember there was a post about a person and they were saying that the name was creepy because you knew they were outside looking in the house. Okay, so he must have opened another account or maybe they're not related, but there's another account inside looking, which is the one we're looking at. How do you know what time they got to Sigma Chi if it doesn't say? I can only go off details provided by investigators. They were at Sigma Chi. It doesn't say they were anywhere else. They repeatedly tell the public that. So they tell the public someone is innocent, knowing they just killed 4 people and let that person roam around in society. That makes 0 sense. Law enforcement has no suspect at this time. Yep, no suspect at this time. Been saying this from the start. Where were all these people when I was getting hate for saying this? No suspect at this time for real. Then they said this person is cleared. JS is cleared. So inside, okay, cleared is cleared. They have nothing to do with it. Talking about, I guess, Hoodie Guy, Jack D, those people. Some quick so Inside Looking commented on this on a post, some quick information regarding the phrase person X has been cleared. Someone replied to them and said, I didn't realize you were part of the investigation, since otherwise you'd not know whether your statement is accurate. Please do share with us all the info your law enforcement team has gathered. Thanks. And he said, it's accurate. Still waiting on the info you have. Check Moscow PD Road homicides for information. Why a whole college essay on it? Cleared is cleared. Are you law enforcement? No. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you'd probably would have spelled it inside looking anyhow. So not willing to share your theory? No point, it means nothing. It's speculation. Cleared is cleared. Watch this case clear. He says, watch this case play out. The killer won't be anyone that was cleared by law enforcement. Cleared is not cleared is even more wacky to believe in. What's your theory? Then he shares a link to the Moscow police page, and then is it the 6th roommate? No, they were cleared today by law enforcement. Holy cow, this account did spend a lot of time on here. That's for sure. He is not involved. The long haul has started. What did you guys take from Dad's comments about the steps? And he says, isn't it obvious? Hoodie guy and the driver, they are not involved in the murders. Some interesting reports from Moscow police log. He says not connected. Thought this was obvious. He has nothing to do with it. One killer, one knife. Someone said 2 killers, 1 knife. He said 1 killer, 1 knife. Roommates cleared, not involved in the homicides. They are cleared. JD cleared. JD cleared. A crime scene is one big message of its own. Perp pulled right up to the house, and then he shares a picture of them getting the footprints, or the car prints, I mean. How close is that? Let's see. There's the front of the house, right, with their parking spots. So, yeah, it's right up to the house. It's not related. End of story. Maybe the cop was the killer. They said, LOL, no. People are crazy, you guys. I don't want to not scroll through the rest of these, y'all, and then we'll talk about some other stuff, but I do think that we should finish looking and at least see them. They can take 4 to 6 weeks. No suspect at this time. There's no way you could know that for sure. Someone said to him, and he said, there is. Timeline is they went to Sigma Chi and came back. Do you think they were really sleeping? And he said, yes. They took 4,000 photographs of the scene so they can return to it in augmented reality. That's crazy. It's not illegal to be a weirdo. I wonder if he was watching YouTube videos and stuff. I mean, I don't know. They were cleared and don't have anything to do with it. Okay, so I am just really quickly, I want to go back to the top because, and I'll look at this in my free time some more later, but being on the run is not fun, in my opinion. People that do this type of crime don't freak out like that. You're looking at this case through the lens of a model citizen and a regular person. Try to put yourself in another's shoes without accepting the norm that society says is normal. Things are a whole lot different. And he said, being on the run is not fun. Okay, this is one that I wanted to and look at his other comments because I didn't know the load more comments at first meant that, yeah, he says Xana and Maddie were targets, in my opinion. Now, if the connection is through the Mad Greek or the restaurant or something, that would make sense. They work together. And now I'm not saying that's the case. I honestly don't know. This person said that Xana and Maddie were targets because of the killer's route inside the home. I want to see his most recent comments. He says, look at the killer's route. Load more comments. Not sure. He kept in Kaylee's room. Hey guys. Yeah, I cannot see the chat. I just clicked over for a second. Hey Teresa. We're going to switch gears in a sec. I just wanted to double check these comments. Do you believe Xana and Ethan were targets? Xana and Maddie, in my opinion. I don't think I've seen this proposed anywhere else before. You've had a lot of astute observations regarding other aspects of the scene, so I'm guessing that you have some well-reasoned logic to back up this theory. Would you care to elaborate on why you think these two in particular were targets? And he said, in my opinion, look at the map and the killer's movements. Why would the killer leave two people alive at the scene? The movement was intentional. The kitchen was the entry point. So if Maddie or Kaylee was the target, the killer's route would have been kitchen and stairs. That path does not cross with Xana and Ethan. If Xana and Ethan were the targets, that path does not cross with Maddie and Kaylee. Therefore, Maddie and Xana are targets, in my opinion. So here's his a post of his, the sliding door. That's the only post that he had. I'm going to have to do some more looking at this, you guys, but it is very, very interesting. What do you guys think? No chains, no more. True, Xana and Maddie were targeted. Hey, without borders. No, Kaylee was not to be there. I believe Ethan was collateral during the first two murders. I think he woke up. Also, her dad doesn't control the internet. Their name is out there. No, yeah, none of the comments. He has not commented since after the arrest because we can actually go look. The last one was 3 days ago. You can actually go look at the last comment from him. You can look at any comments from him right here. So let's look at the very last one. Yeah, so 3 days ago. So I don't know, you guys. I mean, why would this person who's been in all of these group chats, look how many comments. We couldn't even get through them all, and we've been looking for the last 30 minutes. How could this person be in all these comment sections about this? But when the biggest news ever about this case finally breaks, they're nowhere to be found when the killer's caught? That's kind of crazy, I gotta admit. It could be a normal, passionate guy about this stuff, but what would be the answer to this? Jesse, that's what people are alleging. We don't know for sure. We have to kind of, like I said, just use our critical thinking and make up our own minds based on, what's most likely and then what the facts are. What about the other account, Outside Looking In? Well, let's look at it really quick. We might as well. We've been here for a minute. Outside Looking In. There we go. I wonder if this person was blocked because, like, where it was naming the other account, like, a lot of those things were deleted. It looked like I don't know, maybe the account. Here, people, let's look at the accounts. We have, it's definitely not this person. I mean, I don't know. I guess, you know, I don't know if we'll be able to tell because there's a couple of different. So, yeah, this is totally not anything to do with it. Let's look here. Yep, nothing there. Huh. So I'm not sure about that account. I wish that we could see, but I'm thinking that the things have been deleted. It's because they changed part of it. Creepy interactions. Okay, look here. Here's another Reddit post in the Idaho 4 Reddit. Creepy interactions by BK's alleged Reddit account. Someone knew it was him. Social media. View all comments. It's because they changed part of the name somehow to dark user 145. Click on inside looking and it'll come up. Let's see what the comments are on this. Speculation. Killer went to kitchen, then Ethan and Xana's room, and then Maddie and Kaylee's room. And this is where someone said, have you ever considered sources and backing up your rumors or speculation with fact, or is it less fun for you? Have so many questions for you, like so many. Damn, you were a bitch to find. To the moderators, I think it's BS you detour people that just joined from being able to comment, especially if it could help find the perp. I bet they would have a newly created account. And then they said, feel free to PM me. Huh. There's a picture of it. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, back to this. It's going to be one interesting trial. Can you tell me how to go back and read the comments? Account created 11/22. Wow, that's the address. That's creepy. Did he change his name? To user dark 145. This is Demented reading through his post. Looks like the username was changed. One is a display name, one's a username. Seems like he's going to say it wasn't me. A couple of my DMs with inside looking if anyone is interested. Ooh, let's look. Inside looking. The order of the killing by room was Ethan and Xana, then Maddie and Kaylee. Hence why SG said he did, which is Kaylee's dad, he didn't have to go upstairs. And why law enforcement is looking into the stalker theory because the wounds don't match. Law enforcement is trying to figure out why the killer went upstairs. This person said, I thought that quote was interesting too. I think Steve also said that there was quite the battle downstairs or something to that effect. Maybe Maddie and Kaylee heard something and were yelling downstairs to see if they were okay, and the killer didn't want to leave any witnesses. Or maybe the whole house was target, and after MK, the dog started barking, so he took off. Now that would make sense. I also wonder if the killer went to the basement rooms, but they were both locked and he didn't want to risk waking them up. Watching the investigators trace the route, I don't think so. Wow. Oh, wait, could y'all even see that? No. Here's the messages between the two of them. Do you have any more? Thanks for sharing. I know I'd like to see more too. I am almost 100% sure his comments are so similar as inside looking. He changed it to outside looking about 3 weeks after the murders. The other one is the juggler, I think. It's still there, outside looking. It's not outside looking in, it's just outside looking. Okay, let's look at that. Outside looking. So, I don't know. We've already read that. I sent a message request because I thought his account creation posting history was suspicious, and I wanted to ask him why he spoke with such certainty. He had some contradictory posts that I questioned him on. I've exchanged messages with 3 different accounts about the case out of curiosity. Didn't think much about this person, but seeing the post about him today made me look back at the convo. If the account doesn't post in the next few days, I'll dump the rest of the messages we shared. So they're going to see if this account continues to not post. Oh my gosh, how creepy. I talked to him too. I sent a tip in a while back and felt foolish, but something in me had a sick feeling. What made you feel that way? Pixar, it didn't happen. Super creepy if that's him. I remember interacting with the user as well because I remember at the time thinking it was JR. I made comments from the very beginning this guy was the perpetrator. He changed his handle to outside looking at some point and then went stone cold silent after the post from law enforcement on his car. I remember him saying something like, I bet the car had nothing to do with the murders. And I commented on it and called him out that made no sense. Then he deleted it. Oh my God. Wow. Since we're at it, one of his comments from 5 days ago was write him a letter and ask when someone wondered if upon arrest the perp would admit to being on Reddit. He wants fame, pen pals, probably has a manifesto or is going to be very talkative at some point. Wow. Well, he's definitely not going to answer right now. He's saying he can't wait to get back and be exonerated and all that good stuff. I hope they contact law enforcement first. Everything is permanent on the internet. Wayback Machine will have all these combos. That is absolutely crazy. Wait, so the Wayback Machine would have this stuff? Like the ones he deleted? Hey, Mexi, Happy New Year. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for being here. And thank you for everything. Check your email. General Sir has sent you an email about his behavior after a few drinks. And Valerie, okay, thank you guys. Let me look. And then we'll go check out Twitter really quick. Let's see. Ooh, Valerie sent us 2 articles. Yay. Okay. To check out. Shocked Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger plans to deny murders. Let's see. Message to Alex on YouTube. Send. And then let me grab the other one. Oh, I think that's the same one, but I don't know. Are those the same? Send. Oh, this will be fun to look at with you guys. News story about. Here's a link to a news story. Thank you. W Beer. Okay, you guys, let's go check these out because they do look very interesting. Okay. I'm not surprised he will maintain innocence. Okay, just 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Suspect in Idaho killings had made creepy comments to brewery staff. I don't think the other one went through. And I'm going to have to get my cord anyways. Let's see. Hold on just one second, you guys. Hey, can you get my plug-in for my computer, the cord? Yep. It's about to die. Okay. Plugged into the wall at my desk. Thank you so much. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The suspect in the killings of 4 University of Idaho students last month had been known to some employees at a Pennsylvania brewery to make creepy and inappropriate comments, the business owner said. Since Bryan Christopher Kohberger's arrest Friday in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, some knew or had exchanges with the 28-year-old. Some who knew or had exchanges are now reflecting on those interactions in light of his arrest. Hold on, you guys. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go in for just a minute because I don't want the computer to die. The exchanges at the brewery happened months ago, possibly when the suspect was a student at DeSales University at Center Valley, less than 6 miles of Bethlehem. The brewery sometimes had unusual characters, which was not out of the ordinary, but he remembered Kohberger from some interactions he had with female patrons and staff. Okay, there we go. In the bar system, let's see. Staff had added notes that would pop up when his ID was scanned, Cyrulnik said. Staff put in there, hey, this guy makes creepy comments. Keep an eye on him. He'll have 2 or 3 beers and then just get a little too comfortable, he said. Cyrulnik and Kohberger would ask the female staff or customers who they were at the brewery with, where they lived, and what their work schedule was. He said if the women blew him off, he would get upset with them a little bit, noting that one time he called one of his staff members a disparaging term when she refused to answer his questions. Kohberger had not returned to the brewery since Cyrulnik approached him months ago about the complaints from his staff, the owner said. I went up to him and I said, hey, Bryan, welcome back. We appreciate you coming back. I just wanted to talk to you real quick and make sure that you're going to be respectful this time and we're not going to have any issues, he said. And he was completely taken aback. He was shocked that I was saying that. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. You totally have me confused. Kohberger had 1 beer and left, he said. I'm still worried about this. For people who met the suspect in passing, knowing now that he has been accused in the Idaho killings has left them uneasy. Following a snowstorm in early December, Kohberger needed help removing snow from his car window, said neighbor Angela He, 35, who lives directly below him in a housing complex in Pullman, Washington, less than 10 miles from Moscow. My husband came outside and saw that he needed help, she said, adding another neighbor ended up assisting Kohberger. The mother of 2 said she recognized Kohberger when she saw him in media reports Friday and that the fear of residing near an alleged killer has weighed on her. We still feel like it's not so safe to live here, he said Saturday. I don't want to go out. I'm still worried about this. B.K. Norton, a Washington State University student who took 4 courses with Kohberger, said he continued to attend classes through the end of the semester. When discussed in class, Bryan did not mention or contribute to the conversation of the murders, Norton said by email. We were released from class early after the murders to get home when it was still light out, and Bryan was in those classes with us. Austin Morrison, a 22-year-old criminal justice major at Washington State, said Kohberger was his teaching assistant in his criminal procedure class this last semester, grading his papers and giving feedback on the proper way to write case briefings. He was rather quiet, didn't talk a lot, and set off to the side, Morrison said Saturday. But Morrison cautioned to let the judicial system play out before passing judgment on Kohberger. Being a criminal justice major, I am in the mindset that he's innocent until proven guilty, Morrison said. That's my stance on it. His public defender said he's eager to be exonerated. He was very aware, but calm and really shocked by his arrest, LaBarre said. Wow, you guys. Oh, my goodness gracious. Viburi staff, that was an interesting one. Vegan Greek sounds criminal itself. Hey, Britt. Hey, Lulu Love. Cute name. Okay, let me grab this Daily Mail article. I just sent it to myself, but Gonzalez. It didn't go through, so I'm just going to Google it and pull it up this way. So he was rumored to, if you guys missed the beginning story I read, he was said to have been wearing gloves in the grocery store and everything by the end of it. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I guess to keep from leaving fingerprints, but I guess it could also be to cover up any injuries. However, I'm not sure he would still have injuries. It's been a while, you guys. It's been, 40 some days. Shocked Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger plans to deny murders, attorney says, was put on suicide watch, will agree to extradition from Pennsylvania as Moscow police chief now says he believes the suspect acted alone. I don't know. I think that this one is older. I don't know if it's the right one. Mr. Kohberger is eager to be exonerated. I cannot believe that the phrase that they used, and he's shocked he was arrested. Did he really think he was going to get away from it, forever? The developments come as Steve Gonsalves, father of Haley, said his family has begun digging up clues linking her with suspect Bryan Kohberger. Look at him, you guys. Just every time I look at him, just I don't know. It's very creepy. His extradition attorney, there he is, said the suspect is shocked, but will work with investigators to clear his name. Kohberger was also taken off suicide watch in prison, where he's being held. Isn't he in jail? Where he's being held without bail and has agreed to speed up his transport to Idaho. He's shocked a little bit, but he's calm right now. The attorney added, I really don't know much about the case. I don't have any affidavit or probable cause. I didn't want to discuss the case with him because I'm merely his representation for this procedural issue as to whether or not he wants to be extradited back to Idaho. LaBarre, however, did note that he spoke with Kohberger about his alibi and where he was when the four sons were murdered on November 13th, knowing, of course, that it's likely they have location data from his cell phone already, putting him on the border of Washington and Idaho. LaBarre told CNN, it was an easy decision, obviously, since he doesn't contest that he is Bryan Kohberger. The defense attorney also spoke with Kohberger's family, who he said were shocked by the developments when authorities raided their tranquil home in the Poconos before sunrise on Friday. They're also very shocked, LaBarre said of the family. Out of character for Bryan, the FBI, local police, Idaho state troopers were at their house approximately 3 a.m. yesterday, knocking on the door and announcing themselves to enter out of real shock and awe to them. Bill Thompson, prosecutor for Latah County, which contains the University of Idaho, noted that the case was just getting started. This is not the end of the investigation, Thompson told CNN. In fact, this is a new beginning. You all now know the name of the person who has been charged with these offenses. Despite the family's disbelief, Moscow Police Chief James Fry told Fox News, we truly believe we have the individual that committed these crimes. Look at this. Bryan Kohberger's ex-friend tells the Terror News of the arrest. 80,000 viewing now. Then the one we just read about him scaring female staff at the brewery. And then he cheered up in class after the killings. We're going to check that out, and then I'm going to let you guys go. He also confirmed that Okay, so it says Kohberger most likely acted alone, Police Chief Fry said. He also confirmed the white Elantra police were looking for was located in the home of the suspect's parents. He was a criminology student. This is not what we want for our profession. There's Steve and Kaylee. As the investigation into Kohberger unfolds, Steve said that once police told him and his family about the suspect, they got to work trying to find answers as to why Kaylee and her friends were targeted. He and the family have started to see connections between the two, but he was not ready to share them yet. Now that there's a person and a name that someone can specifically look for and see if there's any connections in any way. So they're just trying to figure it out, the family's attorney told ABC News. Steve said no one in the family knew or recognized him when they were initially told about him by police. Police had previously refused to rule out the killings were targeted, but it remains unknown what connections Kohberger could have had with the victims who were living just 8 miles from the suspect's campus. The grieving father described Kohberger as a broken soul, pitiful human being, and that he was a little coward that had finally got caught running. Steve added that he was patiently waiting to see Kohberger when he appears in court next week. This got in my eyes multiple times, and I'm going to be looking for the truth. That's really what I'm going to be looking for. The father's restraint to share details about the investigation is a U-turn from his previous outspoken nature, as he is now thankful to the Moscow police for tracking down the key suspect in his daughter's murder. I want to commend these police officers and everything that they have done, because it has been very difficult to work with all the media, especially me being so vocal, he told Fox News. The investigation did everything they could to keep this away from the public, to keep the jury untainted, do everything by the book, and I believe they've done an amazing job of that, he added. During a press conference Friday, authorities confirmed the white car was, we just read that though. Law enforcement told CNN his DNA was discovered at the scene of the crime, with officers managing to track down who owned the car seen in the area of the slayings. However, Kohberger has no prior arrest, according to public records, so it is unclear how officials got hold of his DNA. See, we don't know for certain. It could have been, we just don't know for certain. It could be many things. There's the research project, and I have a short video going through some of that. I suspect that Kohberger was well aware of his dark nature and homicidal ideation and endeavored to discover more about himself through his studies, said Enzo Yaksic, a criminal profiler and founder of the Atypical Homicide Research Group in Boston. But pursuing an advanced degree to become a better murderer is a foolhardy exercise, he added, as nothing more is learned about such tactics and strategies that can be found on a popular podcast or true crime book. If Kohberger is an aspiring serial killer who desired to commit the perfect murder, he quickly learned what many have discovered in the modern age. It is far more difficult to get away with serial killing today than when Ted Bundy was active. Just 5 months before the murders, Kohberger carried out an anonymous survey of criminal offenders and their thoughts and feelings and tactics in carrying out their crimes. I suspect we'll find out he was becoming satiated for a period of time learning from these criminals. But once that wasn't doing it anymore, he took it from fantasy to real life. Former FBI agent Jonathan Gillum said, quite often a person evolves over time. As their desires evolve, the only way they can get those things satiated evolves too. Every step of the way, he probably became a little more odd and a little more deviant. Wow. Oh, here's that girl. B.K. Norton, who appeared in the same graduate program, said her classmate appeared more animated and talkative following the murders. He seemed more upbeat and willing to carry a conversation, she told the New York Times. But Norton added all his enthusiasm would go away and he would become quiet and deadpan when the class would discuss the Idaho murder case. Because they were discussing it in class. It's a criminology class. They probably took some time to do that. It's crazy. The way how they got the DNA is the most important, right? What? No, but we don't know how, and I've seen a lot of speculation on that, and we just don't know for sure yet. John Wayne Gacy, when being arrested, said to the cops, "Have you arrested the others?" Bryan said to the cops, "Has anyone else been arrested?" Not sure if that's why he said this or just a thought. Dragapro, I thought the same thing. I really did. How can you go from heroin addict to PhD program? It takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, why didn't he come forward about driving the Elantra and living nearby during the killings if he was innocent? Why hide those facts and then leave the state? The front door doesn't open to the second floor. That's not true. The front door in the back opens to the second floor. Like the door in the back, the second floor looks like the ground floor. In the front, the ground floor is the ground floor. You can see all 3 floors from the front of the home. Ooh, Muffy says, I have doubt. I know I may stand alone with this comment and I'm driving while listening, but I have doubts about this being the right guy. Anyone else? Do I stand alone? I'm so curious if anybody else feels that way. What makes me dislike him so strongly is he knew he was in desperate need of psychological help and chose to take life instead. Guys. In Dark User's comments, he says, you can have another accomplice, but they don't know they are helping with the crime. Ooh, see, I got to take the time to go back through all those comments. Right, Alibi. And guess what? After that, we get the arrest affidavit, the probable cause affidavit. There's going to be a lot of it. There's going to be at least the information that first led them to him, enough to prove that they need to hold him, for this. Happy New Year, Valerie. And thank you guys so much. Thank all of you, by the way, for being here. I appreciate you. So no, he was a heroin addict. He was not studying heroin, if that makes sense. And that's just what we've heard from someone else. It's honestly just a rumor from people who knew him and came forward speaking about him. He was a strict vegan. He would actually, his aunt and uncle said that, oh my God, Kat, what? That's such a good point. His aunt and uncle said, though, they had to buy new pans when he came to visit. I don't know where I found that article. I was trying to get it back, but I didn't find it. But they had to buy new pans to cook in because he literally would not eat out of anything that had ever cooked meat. He was a recovered heroin addict. It doesn't play into the crime he's accused of. Right. But I still was curious. I was shocked that he was an addict, yet was so young and supposedly was doing heroin in high school. And then, went straight to college, went on to get a master's and a PhD. I just think that takes a lot of discipline. And I was really shocked to hear that he was ever on drugs at all. Not that you couldn't do both. I mean, I went to college after I got into recovery and I did so well compared to how I did when I was using. But yeah, I just think that's interesting. I think it's the right man. I just think he could have recruited willing, unwilling participants. He could have a team who built a hypothetical scene that was very real to him. Or people who didn't know. People are saying that his eyes are dark and creepy and that he looks dead inside. I don't see any of that. I just see a normal looking guy. I don't know. I just hope they have the right guy. See, I think his eyes look pretty dark and creepy. I got to be honest. His addiction shifted to murder. Mad Greek is not a vegan restaurant. What do they have there? I mean, well, it's obviously Greek food, but do they have vegan options? Are they big for they probably do. I would think, being near a college and stuff, they would have a lot of stuff like that, but I don't know. I've never ate Greek food either, ever. I was just talking to someone about this. I know that it isn't, but if you Google it for vegan food, it's one of the places that come up. See, that's what I was thinking. They probably had a lot of vegan options. They're near the college. They're more kind of, you know, hip. His eyes are very dark. I read that after the extradition, he can be back in Idaho in as little as 72 hours. They do have to wait for law enforcement from Idaho to come and get him. Well, I think that there are some law enforcement already out there from Idaho. Greek is a healthy diet. They have vegan options. Yeah, that's been discussed a lot. A lot of meatless options in Greek food. But do you think you would feel the same about his eyes if he wasn't a suspect in this quadruple homicide? Maybe you would. LOL, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't think every picture he looks that way. I think it's just like that picture in the smock, and maybe one or two others, but not every picture. I feel the same as you. I wouldn't. Huh. Wearing gloves to maybe hide cuts and scratches. I thought about that as well. I thought about asking. That's a good question. I want to try Greek food, but I live in the South. The restaurants around me are like all the small restaurants are like fried chicken, okra, like stuff like that. Lots of fish because we're right on the shore, but we don't have a ton of I don't think there's even one, to be honest. Hey, Catherine Todd, you think they have the right man? I do. I personally do. But that's just me. I think these days with DNA and stuff like that, it would be a lot more difficult to kind of mess it up. But here's the map. So Washington State University, and there's the state line. And we heard that from the very beginning. Do you remember in the very beginning when they were talking about looking at students at the university? I remember having this conversation. This other university is right there. It is so close. They are literally back to back. And it could be someone from the other school. And the whole time it was, wow, there's his parents' home in a small town in the heart of the Poconos Mountains. A split level home. I don't believe he had any reaction, Norton told the New York Post, saying it was odd because everyone else was glued to the case and speculated on the lack of public information. We had quite a long conversation in class about it too. I don't believe I remember him commenting about it at all. Kohberger faces 4 counts of first-degree murder for the brutal stabbings. Norton told the New York papers that her class was in shock over Kohberger's arrest, describing him as a smart and quiet student with an interest in forensic psychology. Norton, however, added that Kohberger did keep a distance from his classmates due to an anti-LGBTQ comments he allegedly made in class. He sort of creeped people out because he stared and didn't talk much, but when he did, it was very intelligent and he needed everyone to know he was smart. Another student who spoke with the Times under the condition of anonymity backed up Norton's claim and said Kohberger didn't have many friends because of the alleged offensive things he would say. Ben Roberts, a classmate of Kohberger and Norton, echoed the suspect's unusual quiet nature in class, but said his demeanor changed after the killings. He was starting to show up really tired, Roberts told Seattle Times. He'd always have a cup of coffee in his hand, and he kind of looked like he was riding the knife edge between worn out and completely exhausted. There's the girl that we talked about yesterday that knew him, and we did watch the TikTok. She told how the last time she spoke with him was 5 years ago. He appeared well after allegedly using drugs in high school. She says he was clean. He's doing security detail at a school. Reports show that while working at his alma mater in the Pleasant Valley School District, Kohberger earned praises for saving another security officer's life when the officer was having an asthma attack. Casey's brother Thomas described him as a bully who would happily note his friend's flaws and insecurities in order to distract from his own weight struggles. He did that to me all the time. He had to go after my intelligence. He would basically insinuate that I'm kind of slow-witted, and that I'm forgetful and I lack the intelligence to be his friend. Do you guys remember his other name on Reddit for that survey? Because we need to search and find all the comments he made with that account. Friday's arrest is the first major break in the case, with Kohberger asking if anyone else was arrested when he was taken into custody. He's a registered libertarian. We talked about that yesterday. He does not appear to have any active social media profiles. You guys, I got to say this so seriously, because I had comments that came and told me I was wrong and his Instagram followed the girls. When he was arrested, I was live right after. I did not see one other channel live about his arrest yet when I went live. And at the time on live, we searched for social media accounts. He did not have an Instagram. There were 3 Instagram accounts using his name, and none of them had any followers, and none of them followed anyone. So after, there have been people who have came out now and are following the girls from his supposed accounts and this and that, but that is not true. That is because we did it on here live, and you can go back to that very first video about him. And Smiling Woofette, yeah, that Instagram with the video from October 8th, and I'm not even sure if thank you guys. Yes, I'm not even sure if that, you can change your name on Instagram, so a lot of you guys were in there with me. Oh, thank you, Smiling Woofette. I was there. No, he didn't. If he did, it isn't under his name. Yeah, it is sick. It's crazy. Why do people do that? That was a name change. Yep. Reddit for the research study was criminology_student. Well, let's just do that real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go. But while I still have the Reddit up, actually, I don't have it up. Let me just go back to it. Criminology_student. Hey, Rainbow. Hi, baby. Here, go upstairs. Criminology student. So it's, don't you do like the U and then the slash and then criminology? Oh my gosh. U/criminology student. Criminology student. Now remember, the post was taken down, so we wouldn't find it anyways, but this was the most 10 years ago. Criminology student comments on that 10 years ago. Okay, so there's nothing. But we know after, I saw that Reddit post a couple times right when he was first arrested, but not long after it was taken down. I was one of the first 2 within 60, 70, 80 minutes of breaking news. That's so awesome. Yeah, if they simply post, they haven't commented in 3 days. So I don't know. I guess we shall see. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. I may have missed it here, but have we confirmed his connection? No, we don't know for sure. And we know there could be one, but they didn't tell us what it was. Criminology underscore student. Oh, okay. I'm dumb. I'm going to let you guys go. And yeah, I'll keep you posted on anything I find, like on the community page or little videos or whatever. Let's see. The person arrested in the Moscow murders was a Redditor. Suspect was on Reddit. As soon as I read he was a criminology student, blah, blah, blah. There they share his post, screenshots of his post. So have they just tagged him in these and that's why it's coming up? Wait. Comments. Reddit is crazy. You can get lost on there easily. I feel like I'm going to get lost on there again later. His account has been scrubbed. It was you criminal. Okay, so this is what happens when you click the account has been suspended. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, thank you, Stone Cold. I appreciate it so much. Hey, Jana, good to see you. I saw Donna earlier. I love you guys and I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up to listen to what I have to say. I don't know why. I know sometimes I can just, I don't know. I just, sometimes I'm still shocked that anybody even wants to sit here and listen to me. But I really do appreciate you guys. You mean the world to me. Bye, Crumb Sleuthin. Yes, Woofy, we will for sure. I want to try it if I can find a good restaurant. I don't want to try like American like food trying to make some kind of Greek dish. I'd rather try like a real Greek restaurant. Thank you, Alec Online. Thank you, Crumb Sleuthin. We do have an amazing group. We really do. Happy New Year, Britt. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of my mods. I really, really appreciate you. I love you guys so much. You mean the world to me. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for all the help. Thank you to the chat. Oh, thank you, Richard. I love being here with you guys. Thank you, Alibi. Okay, you guys, I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Thank you again.